you mean don't talk too loud? Turn this off. You're supposed to watch this when. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you guys so much for joining me. I had to take a quick hiatus because, as you guys know, I've been dealing with some health, skin issues, and since the weather's starting to get a little bit cooler, I am feeling a lot better, and also not feeling a lot better because it's flu season. So in any case, I had wash day. I did not comb my hair. My ears are cold because I just got back, and you don't want to hear all of that, but it's very important to why I look like a hipster teenage boy. So we are here with another episode of Nehanda in the comment section, and we are going to be discussing a few of the latest comments. And first of all, I just want to hang on. So so I have a couple of comments that I'd like to read from the comment section, and thank you guys, all of you, for coming out in the comment section, especially my critics, my detractors, my commentators, my compliments, um, my complimenters. Thank you all for your contribution down in the comment section. Keep the comments coming because it helps me to understand people's different perspectives. So let's just get into it. Okay, so here we have this person asked me about this not once but twice, and I think that I can make a video just on this, but it is such a controversial topic, and there are different aspects as to how you can approach this topic. It's not just a simple yes or no answer, but I also want to be very, very cognizant of the fact that I'm not into the habit of oversharing on my channel about my personal life. Who am I kidding? I think that people have to understand that when I talk about cheating, like what I advise women to do when it comes to the topic of cheating is not what I do in my relationship, because I have a different constitution and a different kind of relationship for what would be considered a black relationship. My dynamics are especially different because my husband is a European man of Scandinavian said heritage. And so those dynamics affect my relationship and what I would do if I were in a situation where he would um may have a fidelity like situation with me. Second of all, that's really weird. I feel really weirded out that people keep asking me if I would tolerate cheating. You can't have my man, so stop asking. Um, if I would put up with cheating, because yeah, I'm not sharing him. So yeah. Anyways, but I think that the topic is very, very important and needs to be addressed in its totality for another day. And so that's all I want to say about that. What do you guys feel about cheating? I think it really depends. Me personally, I feel like it really depends on the situation. If you guys have been following me recently, you would know that I had said situation before. I think every woman who has dated has been confronted with this kind of a situation where it's like, would I put up with cheating? Under what circumstances? What is considered cheating? And all of those things are up for discussion and debate. But everybody has to know what their limit is, because I think a man's loyalty is really a direct reflection as to what he can afford and how morally grounded he is. Like, how does he see himself as a person? Those two things, I believe, affect a man's decision to cheat on his partner. So that's all I'm going to say about that for now. But moving back on, maybe we should stop looking to TV for role models. Maybe less TV should be our goal. Black women have been sold a lie in life. No one can have it all. You either do one well or do all poorly. Take a pick. This is from GTGA Argon. GTG Argon. I did not see this topic. I did not see this response. This was in my first being Mary Jane syndrome, why Black women are losing, the one where she's in the wedding dress. And I really love this comment because this is exactly what I was trying to talk about. people were getting in all in their feelings and taking it personally and acting like as if it was my personal opinion that I was giving, and it was. But I was really trying to bring across the fact that we have started to look to television for our role models, and those role models are sometimes, oftentimes, very unrealistic and very, very self-sabotaging and very unrealistic. um, I'm African, and I hate how African American hates her women. African America, how African America hates her women. African American women hate herself deeply, and so does everybody else over there. It is so utterly disgusting. May you heal. I also love this. I think this is a reflection of how we are ambassadors of our culture and how we allow people to portray us in the media. This is exactly one of the things that I'm talking about. And so I'm very happy that this person has user BRKY53. This is a really long name, but shout out and thank you so much for that contribution. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so what does this have to do with them not giving us right prescriptions and not giving us pain management, proper pain management? What does this have to do with them not listening to us when we are in labor? Why don't they diagnose our medical issues? Why do we receive the worst cancer care and are more likely to die? Like, again, I really need statistics to confirm these statements. Um, there are certain things that I just don't get too involved in when it comes to this topic right now. Like this response right now are some of the things that we have had talked about, but obviously this person did not read the thumbnail. The thumbnail is Black female health care and mortality. Are Black women dying? Um, and I speak specifically to the female mortality as it pertains to birth rates, right? So I want us to really step outside of racism just for a second. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but just for a second to take into consideration that America has the worst healthcare system in the developed world. That says a lot. And so that when you understand that context, then you can realize and understand why these things happen in healthcare. It's not just Black women that are receiving poor healthcare; it's all women that are receiving bad healthcare. And so that's one of the things that I would argue would be one of the reasons why things like this happen. The second thing that I also want to say to that is that every time when you bring these kinds of statements to the forefront that are making a claim and a declaration, you really need to cite sources to bring them up. And I will not argue with them. I will look into them. And I do plan on looking further into this. As a matter of fact, we're planning a table discussion to make sure that we uncover this conversation with healthcare providers in the medical health field, because there's a huge movement going on in America right now. And I can't believe that I know more than this than you people that actually live in America. So tell me if you know what is going on in your local municipality as it comes to healthcare for people of African American descent. um Share that with me in the comment section down below so we can have an open dialogue about this, because this is not something that I am trying to criticize outside of the fact that women need better health care, regardless of, you know, anything else the other outside of whose fault it is. I am not a medical profession. I'm not a doctor. The facts were just given to me nicely, politely, and suggested to me. And shout out to one of my commentators who recommended that I look into this issue because I didn't know. And so, if you want to bring up something like this, then please cite sources that I could continue to look into that. That's my only recommendation. There was, hang on a second. Let me see. Let me see if I can find um Retro J spoke about discipline, and discipline overall is important when it comes to the demolition of men. This is why men are getting weaker. I deliberately did not use the subject title in the video because it is a very adult conversation. And while I wanted to reach a broader audience, I did not want it to reach the wrong audience. And so I had to carefully word it in a way that it could reach a certain amount of people. So I'm really appreciative of you sticking to the facts and sticking to what the issues are, which one of the major issues is discipline. So there was someone who asked me if I'm legally married. Again, with the personal questions, y'all. Um, I understand why these personal questions are important for the kinds of topics that I am discussing. I am legally married, and I was willing and ready to say that first and foremost in the conversation. However, I did not, and what I did, I regret. I took down the comment and deleted it. And I'm sorry that I did that because I really wanted to use this comment as a jump off board for the mentality towards marriage as it pertains to women of a certain social class, especially women of a certain social class within the Black African communities. And I was hoping that the person that made the comment would have brought that up because we tend to see marriage as either a huge deal or um not a huge deal. And the first time I had the words to actually explain why marriage is so important, not just for women, but for men, was when I read the book. I started reading, I haven't finished, to be quite honest. Let me be real with you. Is when I read the book, Promises I Can Keep, Why Poor or Middle Income Women Choose Motherhood Over Marriage. So, because and this adds to the ideology or the mentality of women of a certain social standing and women of a certain socioeconomic background having a kind of mentality towards commitment, marriage, and staying together that is detrimental to the upbringing of her children. And usually these women are from single parent households. And it is a very big study because although the people in the communities, although the women that did the study weren't actually from the communities, they lived in the communities for years and were able to really understand why these kinds of single parent households happen and how they happen because of the mentality that women come into relationships with. Children are seen as a way of showing commitment, not marriage. And so when this person asked me on my YouTube channel if I was legally married, I was confused because I grew up to get married first and then have children later. But that has changed a lot in the past generation or so. And it is happening more and more to the detriment of the children that come out of unions that are either common law unions or just um, non-marital unions. And so when that person asked me that, I was hoping that they would then point out the fact that this is one of the major discourses in relationships. And how did I get to be one in the 1%? I'm sorry, I think it's like 25% of Black African American women who actually ended up becoming a wife, a legal, legitimate wife. And I was hoping that that was the direction in which the conversation was going to. But I'm still glad that the person took it to the direction that it was. And I'm sorry that I deleted it because this is going to make my point that they just asked because they felt like asking shows me that this person, like many people, do not understand the importance of marriage. Men do, women don't. because women have a delusional perspective that they can have a committed relationship with the man and have his children outside of have him legitimately commit to that relationship. Men understand what that commitment means and they take it seriously more than women do. Women see it as bondage, and you will see from some of the comments that I have gotten from women on my channel, and I will not read them today. Maybe I should go through them a lot one day. You can see from that level and that mentality that women actually do feel like that. And I was one of those who was like, that's not true. Women don't think like that. That's a lie. That is 100% true. Even recently, this conversation, that comment that I took down, I'm so sorry I did, shows me the lack of respect for the union of marriage and why we are alone and single as S. I was not, I was not, I was not about to go through that again. I've been married twice, for those of you who need to know, all of my business. And my first marriage was very short lived. And my second marriage, I'm now living, I've now been married to my husband for now 9 years. And it's something that I took a long time to really get clear about why it was important. And I think that once we start to have that shift in our mentalities, because I had to unlearn and still have to unlearn a lot of ways of being that just don't fit to my marriage. And I discuss this a lot. I think I sound like a broken record now because I say this so often. There's so much stuff I had to unlearn in order for my marriage to work. And women hear that on my channel especially, and they think whipping horse, doing the most, being abused. And I think that there's a lot of negative connotation about marriage that comes from single women who have no context whatsoever, not even the remote slightest idea as to what goes into a marriage and what are some of the benefits of marriage. They rather be single and single mothers than learn how to put marriage first so that they can get the kind of relationship that their children's deserve later. But children's, did I say children's? That their children deserve later. Maybe it might have sounded like an S because of my braces. I don't know, but I guess you guys can leave some comments in the comment section down below and get back to me on that. I'm going to try to be consistent this week now that I'm feeling a lot better. I hope to see you guys in the next video. And of course, please make sure to stay safe and stay free.